So what's the truth behind all the Ukraine stuff? Because you have so many different stories. Is Putin like a megalomaniac psycho or not?
Well, let's just, if you don't mind, one thing to mention is, it's crazy. I mean, I can't even explain how you've done it, but you've been to Ukraine twice, is it? Or 3 times?
Came back 2 days ago, last.
Like recently, and you've gone there to I'll let you describe it. You've gone there to help people and, support people and go through all the towns and different stuff during obviously this crazy war that's going on there. Don't know where to begin. What's going on? Why did you want to do that? Explain your journey with that and
I mean, I think it's, once again, it wasn't a choice. It just came really natural to me that if someone needs help, you help them, and that's my instinct. And so when the war broke out, I wanted to do things, and Johan, actually, he was one of the founders for this charity organization, Operation Aid, and I was working, and so I could only help by donating, which obviously makes a huge difference, so there's lots of things you can do without going down to Ukraine. But then I was off up until Christmas, and I just, and they needed a driver. And I was like, well, that's me. And so and it wasn't a choice. It was just supernatural that I was going to do that and help them if I could.
When was this?
This was before Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
So you drove there?
So I've driven twice now from Stockholm all the way down to Ukraine.
I love the way you say it's not a choice, because for most people,
exactly.
it is. And most people would just donate. They wouldn't go to it. And it's kind of rooted into what you said earlier.
Yeah, and I think it's also super important. I think it's kind of tied in with this whole thing with, social media, being an actress and all of that. I think nowadays, you have a responsibility. Like, you get all of these followers all of a sudden, and it's so easy to just show the stuff, the good stuff, the red carpets and the premieres. But that's not me. That's not what I stand for. That's not what me as a person. And I just felt like it's really important for people to see this. And if I can raise awareness about this and show people and maybe get more people, involved, then that's my responsibility to do that. So, it was just, with that said, I think it's hard to imagine what it's like. I mean, when I came down, it was just mind-blowing. I was really scared. The first day I was there, I was just really scared. But
because you don't know where things are gonna come from.
I mean, no, you have no idea.
And wait, where did you drive there from? You drove there
from
Sweden.
From Stockholm. From Sweden. Yeah, so it took about 2 days down, and then.
And where did you stop off on the way?
Well, I stopped a bit everywhere. My dad, actually, they needed another driver to pick up a truck. So I actually met my dad in Warsaw, in Poland.
Wow.
He was on his way from there to drive this truck up to Sweden, and I was driving down to Ukraine.
Okay.
So once again, my family's always been the same, helping each other and, So stopped in Warsaw, stopped at a few places in Poland, stopped at several places in Stockholm to pick up all the donations. So that was also my job. So picked up lots and lots of things, had a huge truck, and then started in Lviv in Ukraine to just organize everything for different missions, and then drove down. And it's like, Ukraine is huge. So, it's like from Lviv down to Mykolaiv, which is by the front, it's like 12 hours drive.
Right.
So it's quite mad. So, and it started, and Lviv is kind of, you don't really feel the war when you're there, but there's no electricity and no heating and no water. So, that was a bit weird,
And what was it like driving through? What did you see when you drove through?
I mean, Lviv is just like any town, really. But then driving down to Mykolaiv, just stopping and filling up the car, you just start hearing this huge, like a thunder, which is missiles hitting, and you can hear them. And that's when I kind of started realizing that this is,
it's real.
You're heading to a war zone.
Yeah.
So you driving in a van with a couple of other people.
Yeah.
With a van full of stuff and supplies and materials and clothes and whatnot.
Food, clothes.
Yeah, I love the fact you were taking like food for animals as well. That was really nice.
Oh my God, oh my God, the dogs. Yeah, I stopped everywhere,
And it's like you're driving, okay, that's one aspect. And then you're driving through Ukraine, which is, you know, at war at the moment, and the things that you're seeing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, what did you say?
Yeah, it's. I mean, you see a lot of. It's hard to explain, really. You're heading to these villages. When I headed out on my first mission, you're just in this. You're just like a sitting duck, basically. You're driving this van, and the roads. There is not one single road that has a meter that's not bombed or destroyed by missiles. So it's really bumpy roads, and you know, and my volunteer friend who's from there. You know, he said, you know, you can't wear seatbelts because as soon as a missile goes over, you have to get out of the car really fast and go on the ground. And at no point are you allowed to step out of the road because there's landmines everywhere. And a lot of the landmines are hidden under children's toys.
Shit.
So, and it really is everywhere. And you can just see missiles. You just see missiles in the road and everywhere.
I remember reaching out to you on Instagram. I was kind of like, it's amazing what you're doing.
You know, when I saw it, I was like, oh, it's like really weird. But it's also really interesting, human beings, because I freaked out for a couple of seconds. But then there's something that there's this thing, you just accept it. It's like a survival mode where human beings, we're just capable of so many things.
Yeah.
And you just go, right, stay on the mission, get to do this.
I'm going to help people.